I think she's recording. Yep, she just started. You're good to go.
Okay, awesome. Thank y'all for telling me that because I was just about to go and okay. So every morning I always post my 3 steps on my story. So if you haven't done that, you can go do that. But if you have, I always start on Facebook first. That's just like personal preference because I feel like I do more on Instagram than I do Facebook. So if y'all want, I always start on my stories first. And Brittany showed this cool little thing that at the top of your page, it'll have like all your stories. And I was always going to my messenger and doing it from there. And then when she showed me that, I realized that I was missing a lot of people's stories. So I wasn't able to interact with people. So if y'all want to, we can interact, let's say till, I'm going to do like 5 minutes. So that would be, okay. Do you have your camera off? No, my camera's on.
I can see you now, actually, never mind.
Okay, I was like,
My
okay,
bad.
so we're going to interact till, let's say 10, we'll do 10:15. Is that okay? Let's do that. And I always scroll to the very end of mine because those are normally the people I haven't interacted with yet, unless it'll tell me if I've interacted. But that's where I start because there are people I haven't interacted with. So I'm gonna do that. Do y'all want me to like play a podcast or something so we're not just sitting here in silence? Let's see. Let's see. Y'all probably hear my niece. She's not a morning person, so she's probably gonna be like screaming. And when I interact on like stories, I always try, like, if it's possible, to ask a question just because, like, I've found that if, like, I'm interacting and I ask them a question, then they come back to answer my question. So then the conversation can keep going. But that's just like personal preference. And some people, like, I just can't interact with. So I'll just, like, like do like, this one was like a little swipey, a little swipe, and I just swiped on it because if y'all have questions, feel free to ask because
Aren't you so naked? Mama, aren't you so naked?
Okay, we'll do like 2 more minutes on interacting because if we go to 10:15, that's a long time. On stories. Okay, so we can move on from stories if y'all are good with that. So when I interact on my actual Facebook feed, I always go to the little 3 lines on the side, and then I go to my most recent. You probably can't see that if it even loads. And then I start in my most recent and just scroll until I find stuff to interact with. But I try to make sure, like, I won't interact if I don't, like, if I'm not genuine. I'm not just going to get on somebody's page and make something up just to get an interaction. And I also don't like just comment, oh my gosh, you're so pretty. Like, I try to comment other things as well, like about maybe like if I like their shirt, like where they got it or something like that. Just because like that's more like than I feel like that's more meaningful than just, oh, you're so pretty. Like, so we will do that for about 5 minutes. So, and then we can move on. I'm sorry, we're just kind of sitting in silence. I couldn't really find anything to play that was good for. Another thing I do while I'm like interacting is if I see somebody who shares something that I don't really, like a meme or something, I'll go to their page. And if like that's all that's on their page, honestly, I unfriend them. I know that might sound rude, but I'm not a meme person. So Candy is in the waiting room. Let's see if somebody can let her in because I can't. Yay, thank you. We are interacting on our Facebook feed right now. We just did stories, so you haven't missed a whole lot. And if y'all have any questions, feel free to ask. Okay. This is like I've never done a work with me, so I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little nervous. Thank you, Abby. Thank you, guys. Okay, so another thing that I do on my Facebook, I do this on Instagram too, is on my most two recent posts that I posted, like yesterday, I posted this picture. I always go to the comments, and I always make sure that I replied back to anybody who commented, just because, like, which I did that yesterday before I went to bed. So, and then and I also I go to anyone who's liked it, and I will go through there and I will go to their page, and if they've posted something like recent, of course, and I'm able to interact, I'll interact with them, just because like they took time to interact with my post and like it, so I'm just going to return the favor, and it kind of builds that relationship as well. Like, some of these people that I don't have a very good relationship with, I would definitely do that. So if y'all want, we can spend just like 2 or 3 minutes doing that, because it shouldn't take too long, which you can always go back and do it when we get off here as well. But I always go interact with those friends. So let's see. Of course. I hope you have a good rest of your day, Christina. Thank you for hopping on with us, though. Okay, so a lot of those people I've already went and interacted with from yesterday when they liked my post and whatnot. Hold on. Sorry, I have like, I can't do one thing and do something else at the same time. My brain doesn't work. Okay, so that's pretty much like how I do Facebook, besides posting, which I personally always post like in the afternoons or evenings, but that's just because like most people that are on my page are at work during the day. So like that's when I get more interaction is during the evening time. But it's totally like, you know, do whatever works best for you. So I'm not gonna make my posts yet. But if you want to go ahead and post, you can. But I'm going to move to Instagram because I've pretty much done everything that I typically do on Facebook besides adding friends. I'll go through and add people. Another thing I do is like, if I have someone post on my newsfeed, like this girl posted this picture and it got 268 likes. And I'll go to her friends and kind of scroll through there and see if there's anybody that looks like someone I would want on my page. I will add them. But I do that while I'm interacting and stuff. So on Instagram, I always go to my following on my page, and then I go to my least interacted with and I scroll all the way to the bottom, and I go through all of those, and if I can interact with them, I will. If I go to I learned this from a work with me that Brittany did. I kind of took this and implemented it into my daily IPAs because I wasn't doing this. So I'll go to their page, and if like it's someone that I cannot relate to in any sort of way, I'll like interact on their post, like their post or comment, but then I'll unfollow them because if they're and that way, like they're still seeing my stuff and they know I'm interacting, but I'm just not like, we're not vibing, if that makes any sense. Another thing that Brittany said, and I do as well, is on my least interacted with, when I go to someone's page, I go to their following and I see if they're following me back, because if they are, your name will be the first name that pops up when you go to their following. And that way, if they're not following you, unfollow them and then follow them back, and it'll pop up on their Instagram that you followed them, and they may end up following you back. They may have just forgot to follow you or whatever the case is. So that's another good tip that I personally do. Oh, do you guys follow famous people? No, I don't follow any famous people either. If I want to see them, I just search them and go look at what I want to see, and then I get off their page. I don't follow any of them because they don't care about me. So they don't care what I'm doing. So they're not going to follow me back. Most likely, I think I have one person that I follow that's like, I don't even know if she's famous. She's just off. She's like a vlogger on YouTube, and that's literally the only famous person I follow, if you even consider her famous. That's literally it. So, but she doesn't like post, like her posts are like kind of our posts, so it's relatable. So that's why I follow her. I follow inspirational famous people. Yes. People who inspire you, but I don't follow like Selena Gomez and all those kinds of people because that's not my type of people. But so, and sometimes when I go through my least interacted with, a lot of times they're least interacted with because they haven't posted in like months. And people who like that, who haven't posted in months, I just unfollow because, I mean, no offense, but the likelihood of them posting, if they haven't posted since August or July, I don't think they're going to post. So a lot of times I will unfollow those people just because that's like I've noticed when I go to my least interacted with, that's a lot of the problem is they're just not active people. And if they're not active, I just see them on their way because there's no point. Like this one is someone that is on my least interacted with, and her last post was, let's see, August 29th. So I may like some of her posts before I unfollow, just so she sees that I did that. Like she sees me interacting, and even comment if I can comment, but then I'll just unfollow. That probably sounds really harsh, but it's fine. And when I went to her following, she wasn't following me anyway, so she doesn't even know that I'm even here. So she doesn't even know that I unfollowed her. Thank you. Oh, thanks. I'm not gonna lie, I was just super nervous that talking on here and sounding crazy and ridiculous and then like rambling. I really want to go live today about like the opportunity and stuff, but I'm working myself up to it. This is a start. By doing this, I feel like it'll help me be able to do live without freaking out. So, okay. So we can move on from that least interacted with because I rambled through the whole thing. So the next thing I do is I always interact with stories before I interact with my feed. It's just personal preference. I just find stories more entertaining. I could sit and watch people's stories all day long. But so on my stories, I always scroll to the very end, which I'm sure y'all do this and y'all already know this. And I start there. And then we can just interact, let's say for 5 minutes. And then we can move on to our Instagram feed. So again, if y'all have questions, just let me know. I'll try to answer them. If not, I'm sure there's somebody in here who can answer it. If y'all have anything you want to add or anything you want to say, feel free to unmute yourself and talk. I don't care. Yeah, I don't mind.
I just have a quick random question.
Okay.
And I can't type it because I'm driving. $25 for the promo. Is that both accounts or just promoters?
I believe
That
it
makes
is
sense.
both. Let me double check, but I believe it's any new customers or promoters. But let me
It's any new
Okay. That's what I thought.
or
Thank y'all. I'm
promoter.
driving and had somebody ask me, so I just wanted to make sure that I didn't tell them wrong.
You're good.
Love y'all.
Sorry.
Thank you.
And also, Brittany put a detailed explanation of that in the group. If y'all go to the group page, she's got everything in there. Should answer all your questions about the promo.
Okay, so now after I've interacted with stories, I don't like, sometimes I do timers and then sometimes I don't, because I can do timers, like I can set a timer for 5 minutes and go through stories and like only interact with one person. And I feel like personally, I need to interact with more people to feel like I did something. So sometimes if I just have like a free day and I don't have anything else to do, I won't do timers. But since we are here and we're not gonna sit on Zoom all day, that's why I did the timer. But for another 5 minutes, we can interact on our feed. I feel like I'm being really repetitive, but like literally what I do on Facebook, I just turn around and do the same thing on Instagram. But I mean, it works for me, so that's why I do it. So we will interact for 5 minutes and then we can do something else. Another thing I like to do, y'all can keep going while I talk, but before, I know this sounds crazy, but like it drives me crazy to have notifications. So another thing I do before like I interact on stories or my feed is I will go, like if it's on Facebook, I go through my notifications and I clear all of them out. And on Messenger, I go through my messages and answer everybody before I interact, just because that way when I interact with new people, those old messages don't get lost somewhere in there. And I do the same thing on Instagram. Before I get started, I'll go and comment back to people, or if they comment on my post, and I answer any messages that I have before I start interacting. That way their messages don't get lost too. But that's just like personal preference, just because I I just hate the notifications. Like it bothers me to have those little icons. I don't know why. Like I have a problem, but it gets on my nerves, so I have to clear them all out. And I'm the same way. Like before I go to bed, I literally can't have any notifications on my phone. at all because it drives me nuts. So, I mean, that's just me though. I'm just a little crazy. Oh, I'm not alone. Morgan does the same thing. Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only person. And like, it drives me crazy when I'm on somebody else's phone and like my best friend's this way. On her like mail that comes on her iPhone, she literally has like over 2,000 messages, and it has that little bubble on her icon where it shows like how many notifications you have, and that drives me nuts. Like, it drives me crazy. I can't stand notifications. I don't know why. It just bothers me. Okay. I think that was 5 minutes. I'm really not sure because I was rambling my mouth. But I do the same thing that I did on Facebook on my 2 most recent posts. I will go and I'll make sure that I commented back to people, and I also go interact with anybody who liked my picture or commented on my picture. I found that it brings, like, for me, I have more interaction when I do that. Like, let's see, 4 days ago, I posted a picture of my products on my feed, and it got 15 likes. And that was before I implemented this of going and interacting with those who liked and commented, because that was before Brittany's work with me, and where she shared that. Yesterday, I posted this picture, and to going back, it got 53 likes. So it got a lot more interaction than the other posts. I don't know if it was because this was an actual picture of me versus like products, or if it was because I did go and interact with everybody who commented and liked my other picture, so then they came back for more. I'm really not sure, like, but I have seen a difference in people interacting more on my stuff when I've done that. So if that's something you do want to implement, you can do that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I do besides that. I always try to clear out my least interacted with for the day. Like, mine, I'm gonna be honest, mine isn't very big, but I don't follow a whole lot of people. Um, I used to follow like 3,000 plus people, and I went through and cleared it all out because a lot of it was just like old accounts and stuff like that. But my least interacted with list isn't like super long, so I can pretty much, if I can sit down for like 10 minutes and 10-15 minutes and go through that list and be done. Another thing I like to do is I love stories, like watching people's stories, so like this isn't a problem for me, but I like to clear out all stories throughout the day on Instagram and Facebook because it gives me like an opportunity to interact even more. And also knowing that all of my stories are cleared out, knows that I interacted with literally everyone that was possible on stories. And so I know that I got a lot done that day. That's just personal preference. Like, if you don't have time to do that, don't do it. But like, I do this business full time, and then how do you clear stories? Like, Daisy, I mean, like going through and watching them and interacting. And when they're like, when you've watched someone's story, they're a little on Instagram, that little pinkish orange red circle around their picture goes away when you watched it, unless they upload again. Like, I watched, hold on, let me turn this down so I can show you. These people right here, I've watched their stories, so that red bubble around their picture isn't there. So I know that I've seen their story. So I know that, like, when I've watched everyone's stories, if I have time that day to watch everyone's stories, they're all going to be like clear. None of them are going to be red. Now, I do have like a ton of people to watch stories from, but throughout the day I do that because that's just the way I interact with people. I feel like I'm able to interact better and more conversations on stories than anything, but that's just me. And I just think they're entertaining, honestly, more entertaining than my newsfeed. So that is just my personal preference. But that's really all that I do, like in the mornings and stuff. Besides like my self-development and all of that, but I've already done that. So, but that's pretty much it. So if you guys have any questions, just let me know. If not, we can get off or we can stay, whatever you want to do. It really is up to y'all. We've been on here for about 45 minutes. So, or if there's anything that y'all do that I don't do that you want to share, feel free to share. Otherwise, I'm pretty much done. So, but I appreciate you guys hopping on with me. We had a lot of people come up. I'm so happy. Let's see. On Facebook, on the stories, it'll show back up, but it'll be like on Instagram, it'll be like, so it'll be a blue bubble when I haven't watched it, and when I do watch it, it'll turn white. So that way I know I've watched their story already, but it doesn't actually like go away, if that makes sense. Like, it'll still be there. It'll just be white instead of blue. Do you guys follow people from other businesses? I do. I have a lot of other people from other companies on my page. I have Monet, or however you say it. I have a lot of beauty counter people on my page. A lot of Tory Bell Lash people on my page, but those are people that I used to work with when I was with them. I have It Works people on my page too. So it's just like, I mean, I guess it's just like a preference thing. Depends on if you want those people on your page or not. Cause like, I had a girl message me, and she's with a company, and she messaged me asking about the company, like our company, because she's looking to make a change. So that's why I follow other companies, because you don't know, like, their Facebook may make it seem like they're happy, and in reality they're really not. Because I was that way with my old company. I made everything look perfect, and like I wasn't struggling, and that I didn't hate being there, when in reality I did, because like I was told to do that. So you don't know, like, you don't know like how those people feel about the company that they're with. They may be looking to get out of that company, and when they see you posting, that might push them on moving on to something better. So that's just personal preference on why I follow other people from network marketing companies. But I guess it's just It depends on if you want to or not. Yeah, Janie, me too. Me too. A lot. Another thing I do is I don't follow. I know this is gonna sound really harsh. I don't follow my family on my Facebook. Like they're friends with me, but I unfollow them because first of all, I don't get along with most people in my family. Janie, you said it. I wasn't gonna say it, but girl, that's exactly how my family is. So they're friends with me, but I don't follow them. I don't ever see their stuff just because they're literally so negative all the time, and I don't have time for that kind of crap in my life. Like I need positive, uplifting, let's go kind of people, and that's not them. So I'm friends with them, but I do not follow them. I do not interact with any of their stuff or anything like that. Another thing I don't is because they think that what I do is stupid, even though, they just don't believe that what I do is it actually works because they're very, very close-minded people. So I don't have time for people like that, and I'm not going to waste my time on people like that. I'm not going to even interact with people like that. So that's just me. Like if you have a great family and they're not toxic, then I'm very happy for you because that is something that I don't have, which they don't stop me from doing what I do because I work even harder to prove my point that what I'm doing works and that they're just exactly. They push me harder. They fuel my fire to keep going and to prove them wrong. I know that probably sounds bad and I probably shouldn't do this to prove someone wrong, but when it's my family, I do because they're just not. Nope. All right. Does anyone have any more questions before I hop off? I kind of just rambled on about nothing. But Janie got me. She understood what I was talking about. Why I don't follow family. All right. Well, I'm going to hop off. I hope you guys have a great day. And I am so appreciative that you guys got on and, was a part of my first work with me. And I hope that you got something out of it. And now I didn't just ramble your heads off. So y'all have a great day. Bye.